Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and this one I really don't know what to call it because it's sort of like a review, sort of like an unboxing, but I've already done it all. This is, I don't think you can see, it's a UMX F4U Corsair, ready to fly. It's pretty small, obviously, by the size of the box if it's ready to fly. I actually bought this sorry, in this summer, so the summer of 2014, at the Minot State Fair, and we pulled our trailer there. So I was in the trailer, and most of the days it was really windy, and that's why it's in the shape that it's in. This is actually, other than an Air Hogs differential thrust 2-channel plane, basically, this is my first remote control or radio controlled plane. It's a 4-channel. It has ailerons, elevator, throttle, and rudder. I'm just going to open this up and let you take a look at it. So, let's see, take these out. What it comes with is a 1-cell 3.7 volt 1500 milliamp 25C LiPo battery, and a little bit of Velcro on the back here. And it has actually storage places for 3 of those batteries, which I actually bought another one identical to it. Then I also bought, this is later, a 200 milliamp 1S 1-cell 35C battery. So this one was supposed to have a little bit more juice, a little bit more runtime, be a little bit more powerful, but I actually found that the batteries from E-flite, which are the ones that come with it, were more powerful and lasted a little bit longer than this one. I'm not sure why, but that's just what I found. It also comes with a portable charger. So you stick the battery right, a piece of foam. Stick the battery right in there, just like that, and the red light shows that it's charging. I forget how long it took. I think it took around 45 minutes, and then you get about 10 minutes of runtime. And this is a portable charger in the sense that you charge your LiPo batteries by putting in 4 AA batteries. It's a really nice idea, but it's probably only for small batteries like this, because with bigger batteries you need more juice than that. There is a charge port here where you can plug it into the wall. It does not come with it. That's a downside. But at least it comes with a charger, and if you're at an airfield, let's say you are an intermediate pilot and you want a different plane, you go buy this, you're going to be able to go straight to the airfield and put a charger on the battery as soon as you buy it, go to the airfield, and you're going to be able to fly it. That's nice. It comes with a decent controller. It's very, very basic. You have the throttle, rudder, it's mode 2, blah blah blah, buttons for trims, on off button. You can actually switch between mode 1 and 2 if you have like a pen or a screwdriver or something to stick in there. The antenna is not omnidirectional, however, and I don't believe it comes off either. It also runs off of 4 AA batteries, and this box actually comes with 8 AA batteries, so you have 4 for your remote and 4 for your charger, which is great because you don't need to buy anything else. Yeah. My first flight with this plane well, actually, the first day that I got it, I hadn't really flown before, and I knew that I should just take it easy. So for a while, I was just taxiing up and down the pavement, maybe getting a foot or half a foot off the ground sometimes, but I always wanted to stay close to the ground. When I finally did get off the ground, I ran into a few things, or flew into a few things, I guess you would say. The first one was a porta potty. That broke the wing, but when I bought this, I bought some foam safe glue and accelerant for that glue. So I fixed the wing and it was all fine. And a few other times I crashed in grass and the wings broke, or it wasn't quite dry and it just separated again. But eventually both of the wings broke multiple times in several places, and it's glued together, and finally I think it was like the fourth day that I had it, my cousin came out for the day and he wanted to fly it. So I was like, well, okay. It was relatively cheap and it was my first plane. I had no idea what I was doing and it was already in a horrible shape. So I let him fly it and he flew fine for about 2 seconds, and then it just went straight into the ground, nose first, and the propeller just flew off. It was a mess, and the wings also broke in the same places that they had broken before, so I ended up with a folding wing Corsair, more like a broken one. So some features of this plane, please ignore the wings for now. I should have put a little bit of glue on them, but I didn't. It has elevator and it has rudder back here. These tabs here and there are actually pretty fragile, so they came off a few times. They've been glued on. But the nice thing about this is that with the rudder, the tail wheel actually steers. So I'm moving the rudder and the tail wheel steers. That is really good for when you're on the runway, except if you have no wheels. This did come with wheels, and they fit in sort of like that. They just slid into the bottom part of the wing. I went in further, but just for this purpose, I'm just going to hold it like that. But after a few harder landings on concrete, or smashing into it, or falling onto it, one of them ended up bending right about this point here, right about there, and just snapped off when I tried to bend it back. So what I tried to do was take some little tiny plastic wheels that I bought at the hobby store, and this is actually the wire from a clothespin. I unbent it and then just had one coil. This was the end that was already bent, and I just put it through the wheel, and they're actually a softer metal, so it bends pretty easy. So I had the same issues with it. It would bend, and you would bend it back, but then you would have a harder landing and it would just bend again. So you couldn't really land or take off a pavement, so I ended up flying over grass. These servos are interesting though. I've never actually seen anything like them. The circuit board is right underneath, and there's a tiny little motor in there, basically working a screw or a worm gear type system. Here, I'll just plug the battery in and the remote on. I think this battery is somewhat charged. Anyways, with the battery, that Velcro there just Velcroed onto there, and then you could adjust your center of gravity. But I found it needed to be all the way at the back, as far back as you could, to actually fly. So you have aileron, and you have elevator, rudder, and you see the tail wheel actually steers a bit. I have these, oh, whoops, I bumped the throttle, and this has AS3X gyro technology, so that means it chirps quite a bit. So I'm going to unplug the battery, because that'll be annoying. But yeah, basically this moves up and down, making those move just the same way as normal servo, except it's a little more simple. I actually haven't taken off the top of the canopy. I will later today or tomorrow, just to see what's inside for a receiver and that sort of stuff. The servo is inside, by what I've seen, are the exact same as these ones to work the elevator and the rudder. But yeah, it's a fairly nice plane. For at the time, I think it was around $110 US. In my mind, it was what I should get, but now that I think of it, I probably should have bought a simulator or something and just practiced with that for a while. But yeah, that's my plane. Sort of like a review. Not really, but it's also sort of like an unboxing. This plane actually was pretty durable, except for the wings, but with the glue and the accelerant, I could have the wing fixed in 3 minutes or less. So that was all good. The elevator always seemed to be pushing the front of the plane up. And that could be my center of gravity, I don't know. I wasn't sure of how to check it at the time, sorry. And I really wasn't sure how to tune a plane either. I just knew how to fly it, or thought I knew. So yeah, that's one thing that I found. I had a weird experience actually. There was a big warehouse right next to the grass field, and one of my friends was flying it, and he had actually never flown a plane either, but he was doing better than me, so I was letting him fly it. And it was a little bit windy that day, so the plane just was drifting away, obviously, as this very, very light plane would in the wind. And it drifted to the point where it was almost over top of this warehouse. And it was a big warehouse, and I was scared that it was going to hit the top and we would lose it or something. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I grabbed the remote for him, and I just put it full throttle and pulled up, and nothing happened. And then we were running closer, but we shouldn't have, because that cut our line of sight off, and then all of a sudden you couldn't see it. So I backed the throttle down, I let go of the sticks, and we didn't know what was going on. We couldn't see the plane, we couldn't hear it, we had nothing. We weren't sure if it crashed or what. So we went around to the other side just to see what would be there. And I don't know, about 30 feet out on the other side of the warehouse was a road, and the plane had actually, if this was the warehouse and the road was over there, the plane had actually turned around and landed right on the edge of the road where the grass was by the warehouse, and it had probably missed a van by about 5 feet when it came gliding down. So that's nice. I think it was in all in one piece. I don't think the wings broke or anything. But that's one kind of scary experience, because it was my first plane and I thought I had lost it, but I ended up losing it anyways, because somebody, my cousin, couldn't fly. He tends to break things a lot. He's also the cousin that I had to fix his 1/16 scale E-revo, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I won't go there. So that's it for today, guys. If you are watching these fairly up to date or a day or two after, I'm gonna have a few running videos, or basically one running video with a whole bunch mashed together of my Vetera Twin Hammers 1/10 scale rock racer. So come back for that in a few days, or whenever I get it up, I guess. And thanks for watching.